ground KLM 871 Heavy requesting the end of pushback. KLM 871 Heavy
welcome
requests
to another
the end of pushback
live stream. Today, we're continuing with the tutorial of the PMDG, well, the brand new PMDG 737 base pack, which is the Dash 700. So, we are back in Amsterdam Schiphol airport, and basically we're just going to do a quick flight from here to Leeds And Bradford International Airport. Yeah, so it's a very short flight, pretty much as short as the flight from Manchester, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for the intro. Yes, yesterday we did make a lot of issues, a lot of mistakes. Oh, sorry, well, I made a lot of mistakes because it's been a while since I've actually flown in a proper steady level Boeing aircraft or PMDG, like that. And basically I've just sort of had to go through a refresher course. Someone's coming in. Yeah, but yeah, and yeah. So today I'm just gonna probably just do another tutorial, basically short flight, just obviously show you how the services work and whatnot. Hopefully, I've got the stream working a little bit better, so I don't have to bash my head against the router, wondering what the hell is going on. But yeah, so with that, let's continue with slightly more detailed flight today, tutorial today. But anyway, let's get to it. So, first things first, I'm going to be loading up the cargo. So I'm going to do it automatically, not automatically, but manually by using the PMDG MCDU. Yeah, so this is I'm going to be using this for today. Let me just set it up on the right as well. So let's get to the menu and this. Okay, so yeah, so cargo today, after it was 2001 and kilograms, sorry, that's 2 tons, and the front is 2313, sorry, 2313 1,000 kilograms, and we'll start loading the cargo, and then we'll come to the next page, which is for the passengers and all that stuff. So okay, it seems to be inhibited, but that's fine. So jetway is connected. That's probably the main entrance, really. But let me check the payload, see how many passengers we have. So we've got 100 passengers, and the fuel weight today is going to be 52 tons. Yeah, so we've got 100 passengers coming in and 7 passengers in first class. And so we're going to do that, and it should let us start boarding. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's fine, I'll just leave it as it is. Yeah, so aft galley is what I'm going to be using. Okay, maybe not, I can't really, because they're still loading the cargo. Hopefully once they're done, it'll get rid of all of them. So, yeah, so I'm going to turn most of these ground control to the right, FMC. Oh yes, and yeah, I think it's FMC, but yeah, so this is where we're going to be doing everything here. So, yeah, so let me just set the stream up, hopefully, get everything going.
Taxiing Echo 19er via taxiway Echo 1 Bravo Alpha 14 Turkish.
So I'm trying to set up the moderator channel going, so I can at least so I can manage chats and things like that one channel, and the other channel is just solely going to be to stream. So with that, yeah, so that's set up, that's good. Now let me just okay, brilliant. Okay, that's it. So basically, we've got everything now good and set up going. Fuel, payload. Oh yeah, fuel. A good point. So let me see where the fuel page is. This is water. Oh yeah, fuel page. Yeah. So 5811. That's going to be how much fuel to load in, but I think it's done that already. Done that, so that's fine. I'll leave that as is. So let me get to the FMC page, so I can set up the flight plan and obviously the weight and balance and all that stuff. So yeah, so far so good. I need to sort of remind myself what stage I'm at, so I can make sure that I don't make any mistakes. So, usually the first thing I try to do is also to go right up to the top and sort of cycle through the different panels and obviously see everything is as is. IRS has already been aligned, so that's fine. Okay, so from the top here, flight control, your damper is on, navigation, that's fine, fuel pumps are all off, that's fine, we're on ground power anyway, power coming from battery, ground power is currently connected, and then we've got a current going in of 402, yes, that's connected, that's fine, APU is off, landing lights, landing turn off, and taxi lights are off. Lighting is as we wanted. Seatbelt signs are off. The chime is on. Wipers off. So there's no rain today at no rain today in what's it called in Amsterdam. Window heat. I'll turn this on just so I can remember, and then I'll leave the picture prop heats off. Hydraulics are on. A and B are on. Electronic hydraulics are all both off, which is standard, so turn that on just before we start our pushback. Temperature is still the same, we've got 38 and 31 degrees Celsius for cabin. Air recirculation, fan is on. Packs are on auto, isolation valve is on, but I'll put it on auto. Bleeds for engine bleeds are both on, for both engine 1 and 2. And finally, FPU bleed is off because FPU is not on, so we don't need that. We don't need that bleed air to help turn on the engine number 2. So our cruising altitude today is 33,000 feet, same as yesterday's flight. Now, landing altitude, which is the runway, it's going to be airport elevation for Leeds And Bradford is, I'm going to check because it's quite a very, Leeds And Bradford is very high very high, that's weird. It's very high airport is, yeah, the elevation is pretty high. I think it's around about 700 something feet. But let me just double check on the charts here. Okay, if I can find the elevation page. Oh, airport elevation, so that's fine. So that's going to be 681, but we're going to have to go to the nearest 10. So 681, so it's going to be 700. So that's it. And then just check the lighting. So I'm going to turn the logo lights on. Navigation lights are on, steady lights, and anti-collision wing lights and wheel well lights are all off. So yeah, that's it. And now let's get to set everything up that way how I want it to be. So usually I just turn on the meters information as well. I wanted to fly from the right side, so co-pilot seat, but I'm gonna stick to here for now. Okay, control, so just turn the aircraft to the center, turn it to the center of the map, and put it into plan mode. Got terrain, position, data, and waypoint for the captain side, and I'll turn on the traffic information. I'll also turn the auto brakes to RTO, even though we'll have to wait until later on really, but that's fine. I'll have to do it early, so I don't have to worry about it. So, move to the first officer's page. The setup is display screen. Once again, turn on the meters, and we are using hectopascals. I think that's what that is. So, we're gonna turn traffic on, also turn it to the center, increase the range, and then weather, airport, data, position, and that's going to be all the information that's going to be displayed in the map screen here. And I think that is it. That is it. I've done the lighting. That's fine. Okay, and then now let's program the flight management. Actually, before we do that, let's check the oxygen. Click the red button. That's great. Turn it off. First officers. Yep. I think that's it, really. Okay, brilliant. Now let's program the flight management system. So once again, we start with the first page, which is the ident page, it's the identification page, and we have obviously just information about the aircraft and the nav data. Position. So we're in EHAM or Amsterdam, which is EHAM, and I think we are at gate. It doesn't say what gate we're on, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. But we're at Delta. I think it's been a while. So I set up everything, but I forgot to remind myself where. I know we're in Delta or deep here, or D gate. So we are three away from okay. Fine. Let's go to do one thing as well. So we're gate D 27. Yeah, 20. No, D29, I think. Yes, D29, but let me just sort something out. Just make sure. Okay. So I think audio is a little bit off again. Okay, I'm trying to reduce the sound so I can at least hear myself over the absolutely deafening sounds of all the engines sort of roaring around. But let me just keep trying this while I'm doing that. So while I'm doing that, anyway, I'll continue. So I think it's D27. So I don't know if it's got it in the database, but D20 is it D29 or D27? Let me just double check again. Okay, we're at gate. No, not that. EHAM. D27. Okay, D27. I'm gonna say D27. Let me see. Yeah, pretty much right. Yeah, D27. So that's fine. Let's continue. So the audio is good. Okay. Yeah, okay. that's it. So I think the sound sounds a little bit fine from me anyway. So I'm gonna leave that in the background. I'm gonna reduce on the yeah, doing streams can be a little bit frustrating if you don't do it right, I suppose. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Really appreciate your interaction. Really hope you can interact with me. Ask some questions if you have anything. Just feel free to join. And yeah, let's continue. So, okay. Trying to put some entertainment. Okay. Let's get some entertainment on. So something on the screen. Or something on my. Okay. Okie doke. So, we'll come back to that and let's continue. So, we've done the position and we'll move on to the route page. So, we've got the, once again, obviously I've set up the flight plan on the SimBrief. Very highly recommended. Yeah, definitely do go and you know, check it out. Really, it's probably the best place to what's it called? A flight plan generator online for the moment for any flight simulator. So definitely worth checking. It's also got a app as well for desktop app, so you can download that as well at some point. So, okay, our flight today is from Amsterdam, EHAM, and we're going to Leeds and Bradford, which is EGNM. Put that in the company route. Oh, it's not found it. EGNM. Okay. Put that in the request. Game services and all internet connection, multiplayer. Okay, that's fine. Restored. Okay, it will be restored. So EGNM. So this is okay. That's fine. So I'm gonna select this, and then we're gonna request it, and let it bring everything up. Okay, so we're just gonna load that in while it's because it has there's a slight delay, so it's not like a realistic delay. Basically, it's like connecting to the company server and so on and so forth. Okay, so this, let's see if it's loaded. Yep. So we've got all the waypoints and the airways. Okay, that's in. Route data uplink. That's good. And then we're going to activate, accept. Finally, let's now add on Takeoff Runway, which is runway 24. Just double check on the flight plan. Yeah, I was going to say as well, because SimBrief gives you a generates a PDF file with a flight plan, so just all the information that you'll ever need for the flight. But yeah, so runway 24, flight number is KL 1549. 1549. And yeah, that's it. So we can save it, or we can just leave it as is for now. Anyway, okay. So first, other thing I like to do first is obviously to get alternate, and our alternate today is EGCC, which is Manchester, Manchester Airport, and obviously we're just gonna have the nearest, nearest airport page as well. Okay, going to performance initialization, I think. Probably is how you say that. Transition altitude for Amsterdam is, I think it's 3,000 or 3,000 or 2,000. Transition altitude, yeah, 3,000. I'm gonna have the map on the. So anyway, we're gonna have. Okay, I'm gonna request. Yeah, so request the information, and this is gonna be all taken from the this page on the right here, which is the load and fuel and all that information. So that's just gonna collect it and obviously do its calculations. And yeah, so it's done it. Load. Once it's loaded, accept. and then once that's in, yeah, I can now fill in the two missing parts, which is cruise wind and transition altitude. Okay, so back to the flight plan page, simple flight plan. Cruise wind, average wind is heading of 216 at 26 knots, and the transition altitude at Amsterdam is 3,000 feet instead of 18,000, and that's it. Check the next page, that's fine, and then go to N1 or thrust, or yeah, N1 page, which is just a performance page as well. Okay, okay, performance page. So here we go. N1. So once again, I'm going to derate it by 2 and keep climb 1. And I think that's it. I don't have to do all that much. Temperature outside is around about 18 degrees Celsius. If you can, I mean, you can set up a different temperature, which will give you different speeds as well, V speeds, or different performance. So, for example, if I tell the computer that you know, the outside temperature is fairly hot, so it's going to require more thrust, but you can have it a lot cooler, so it provides less thrust. So I'll probably say like let's say it's 16 degrees outside. Sorry. Dash. So 16. Okay, that's not. I don't know. Okay, that's not how that works yet. But anyway, never mind. So that's that. That's pretty much all I want to do in the derated, the takeoff, and then obviously climb a little bit. Anyway, yeah, that's fine. So come to the takeoff page once again. Flaps 5 takeoff, and trim. Just double click to get the center of gravity, which is 23.4, and then you click it into that position again, and it gives you the trim that you need. So I'm not going to select the V speeds yet, because they will change quite a lot as it's all set up. But they'll probably come back to the last moment. Okay, so now I want to find out the weather information for Amsterdam Schiphol. So I want to find the direction and the wind speed. That's all I need to do for now. Obviously it's dry, so dry has been chosen here. Outside temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. Slope is 237 degrees, and I think that's it. I'll have to find out what the other information is going to be. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it wants to give me the. Yeah, it doesn't want to give me the. It doesn't want to give me the weather information yet. So what I'll do is I will find it in here on the internet. There's other ways of doing it, but I'll have to find out. They'll probably include it in the deeper on the tablet or the pad when it comes, but that's fine. Okay, so yes, winds are 250. Sorry, wind direction is 250 at 17 knots. So leading 17 knots and at 254. Okay, and obviously that gives us the runway as well. That's why the runway has been chosen. Runway 24 has been chosen. Okay, and that is that. So that's the final page. Now we come to the climb page. I'm going to use 245 or 240. Yeah, I'm going to go for 240 below 10,000 feet. So just simply type in the speed you want to maintain during the climb, and that's it. Accepts it. Move to the cruise page. Now, LRC basically just means that it's going to follow that the flight plan. So basically get you to the time that you requested. Descent page. I'll come to the focus page, and now what is the transition level for that? A lot of Western airports do not have transition level, you just have transition altitude. So I'm just going to go with 5,000 for Leeds and Bradford, and then I'm going to request winds as well. So let that just wait a few minutes while it contacts the. There we go. So it's ready to load. So just load that in, and it's going to populate that with the winds for our descent profile, descent stage. So okay, accept, and okay. Now we can come to the fix page, which is just yeah, it just helps when it comes to you know, knowing the distance between places. So it just creates a ring around whichever object you want to orient yourself with. So EHAM. So again, I only need 10 miles, a ring, and a 20-mile ring. This is just good for when we come into in case we have to come back here. Okay, then we're going to go to EGNM, which is Leeds, and we're going to have a 20-mile ring around the airport, 10-mile ring around the airport, then a 5-mile ring. This is sort of when we will probably be cleared to land. Finally, our alternate, which is Manchester, so it's EGCC, and I'll just have a 10-mile ring first, in case we have to do actually, land there. Okay, so with that, we can now set up the departure. So the departure runway is runway 24, and I think it is. What is the? I think it really does this for me. Really, I'm just not really supposed to. But I don't really need to. But anyway, I just like to show what it is that needs to be done. So runway 24 and the star, no, the SID. SID is departure. Our star is arrivals, and it's Berg 2S. So we're going to go for that and accept, and then back to the index page, and then what I'll do here is I'll just I'm going to free up some space so I can actually cycle through and be able to do a lot more than just that. So okay, first things first, let's get rid of some of the services. So we can get rid of the baggage carts, and the jet was still connected, that's fine. That's it. So that's all I have to worry about for now. Let me bring it to the departure page. There we go. Okay, now Leeds and Bradford, I don't know why they haven't updated the arrival information, but something that we're going to have to work on in the near future. But anyway, so here we are. Where are we? Okay, so I'm going to put it in the legs page so we can cycle through just to make sure that all the information is right. So step climb out after runway, after departing runway 27, I'm going to take a right turn, head, and then start heading north from there. And then brings us in to the last page, which is the Leeds and Bradford approach. So as you can see, sort of just stops in the middle of nowhere. Really, it should be on that side. Okay, so what I do now is I'll zoom in here, and we're going to, for ILS, I think it was Z, slightly further distance away, which is a little bit better. And transition, I really don't want to bother with the transition because it's just going to complicate things. But yeah, okay, we'll go with that transition, which is LBA1. We'll accept that, and then let's fix this. Okay, we don't need that anymore, so we'll come back to the FS action page. Okay, so zoom out, reduce the range, and then got a page back, and then let's reduce the range. Yeah, so that's. Okay, let me increase the range a little bit actually. So let me so cycling through. So rim toe, and then from rim toe we go to LB and B, Leeds and Bradford. I'm guessing that's what that says. So I want to skip that and go straight to this this waypoint here, which is D33J. So what you do basically is you click click it, and it populates it at the bottom scratch pad here, which is D33J, and then you put it in this gap here where there's rectangles here, and you accept it, and that's it. Now the only thing is that basically we're going to have to fly right next to the airport before we come round for a very sharp left turn for a final. But anyway, that's all we can do for now. So it's a warning. I think that's just to let us know that the doors are closed. Oh, and the catering's finally here. Jesus Christ, there's one heck of a traffic jam at the moment here. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to exit here safely anyway. Oh, at least it's moving. At least it's moving. That's a good thing. Anyway, so let's get rid of the catering now. So we're going to ground services, and yeah, after catering, that's fine. They can go. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all we really need to do. That's it. So yeah, just step climb, just to make sure everything is as you want it. That's fine. I might have to sort of manually redirect the aircraft around the airport instead of having to go right over it while we're descending. But yeah, I think that's it. Now we can come to the takeoff page, and then we go to derate, and then climb 1. That's good. And then now we can select our V speeds. So V speed, V1 is 121, VR is 126, and V2 is 133. And then we just all we have to do is to put the V2 speed there. That's good. Runway heading is 238, runway 24. Yeah, it takes a long time sort of having to cycle through all that. Yep, 138. So I'm going to go this side instead. Excuse me. Okay, I think the best way to do it is actually right click on the arc, and that's it. Finally, yeah, we need to do the trim as well. So VNav. No, it's not letting me do that yet. So okay, sorry, I forgot that. So flight director on, VNav, LNav is also available. That's good. And yeah, that's it. Auto throttle. I'll probably auto throttle is armed for now, and that's it. Did a lot quicker than I thought. Okay, so now we can get rid of the jetway. think that's on the first page. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so get rid of the jetway. And you should close the door as well. And then let's bring up this screen here. So first things first, I'm going to turn on the fuel pumps. And then I'm going to turn on the... Oh, 1 second. Okay, APU started, seatbelts on. And then we'll turn on anti-collision lights. And turn on the hydraulics. And then... yeah, so we're just going to wait for the APU to just fill up, and then once it's done, we'll turn off the packs. Hey, Bomber 525, how you doing, fella? Okay, so that's, yeah, it's coming up, so it's at 70% at the moment, but it's not available yet. So let's double check to make sure everything is clear. Okay, the jetways are a little bit too close for me. Look at how close that is, right up against the wing, but that's fine. A lot of traffic jam there, like a lot of traffic jam. I'm gonna have to cheat, but that's fine. So we've got a lot of aircraft sort of just queuing up here. Anyway, that's fine. So APU is available now, so now I can just transfer the power to APU. But just double check, just to make sure. It's showing 400 there, that's good. So just click left and right generators. And now ground power can be disconnected. So come back down here, and then we're going to release the ground power. It's just a cart at the front there. So it's going to be moved shortly. Okay, that's gone. Now I can first of all check set the parking brakes on. Turn on the engine page. 1 second. Turn on the engine page, and okay, I think that's it. And then take the wheel chocks off, and I think that's it. I don't have to worry about anything else on that section here. I can turn the legs page on the right FMC, and that's it. Yeah, pretty much. Now I can start the clock, and then just cycle through, just to double check, make sure everything is good. Okay, so give me 2 seconds while I answer a call from nature. 2 seconds.
Cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground.
This is ground.
Cockpit to ground.
Stand by. This is ground. Stand by. Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
Parking brakes are set.
Okay,
You
sir.
may lift.
The bypass pin
The
is
parking
installed.
brakes are set.
All doors
You
and
may
hatches
lift.
closed, and all ground equipment is removed. Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback. Standing by for pushback.
Okay, so yeah, we're pretty much ready to start pushback. So I'll turn the I will start the
Cockpit to ground.
pushback. I'll turn off the
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and
packs.
push.
I'll turn the
Parking brake
acceleration
set.
valve to open, and then I'll also turn on the
Okay, cleared for push start.
I'll
Please
leave it
release
also.
parking
And I'll turn
brake.
on the APU bleed. And yeah, that's it. Just release the brakes and let's start moving.
Parking brakes are released.
Okay.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
So I do prefer this pushback helper to the PMDG one, just because it's a lot more. It's a lot better. It's a lot. You get a lot more control. So start the engine, set it to ground. So wait for it to get to 20%. I have to know when to turn. Okay. 20%. Start this left turn here. Okay, I think we're far enough, so I can stop. First of all, I'll hold it here, and then I'll stop.
Okay, pushback completed. Please
Let's set
exit
the
parking
parking
brake.
brakes. Okay, so
Parking
engine
brake
number 2 is stable.
Parking
Just
brake
double
set.
check.
Lowering aircraft.
As you can see, yep, it is stable. Let's go back to the cockpit.
Ground. You may
Now,
disconnect.
start engine
Okay,
number
sir.
1. I'm
Cleared
just
to
clicking
disconnect.
the start switch.
Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Yep, so put the
Holding
start
position
switch
waiting for
to
the
ground.
visual. Thank you and goodbye.
This will start rotating the engine. Just double check just to make sure. There we go, that's N1, which is the front blades. So back to the cockpit. Once it gets to around at 24% of N2, which is the internal compressors, we can now turn the fuel control switch on. Okay, we'll get rid of that now. Okay. And let it just spool up now. Okay, I think that's both engines are now stable. Yeah, there we go. So what we're going to do now is, first things first, let's bring the flaps up. Extend the flaps to flaps 5, which is our takeoff flap, and then we're gonna go to the back screen here, and then we're gonna sort of run through the flight controls. So, 1 second, let me just move this a little bit out of the way. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So, start with full left, neutral, full right, neutral, and check the rudder. Full up, sorry, the ailerons, full down, and then rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Okay, so we're going to go to this page and I'll get the cameras that I really want to view. Beautiful. I'm just going to take a lot of pictures while I'm doing this. Okay, so my favorite view, I'm going to leave it probably this wing view here, but this I don't mind. Okay, I'll leave it here again. Yeah, I'll leave it in that view. sort of good view of the airport as we depart. You can see there's still a lot of traffic in front of us, so it doesn't really matter trying to hurry on out. Okay, then we're going to move to the top screen here. Cycle through again just to make sure everything is fine, fuel pumps are good, and then we're going to turn power to generator 1 and 2, and then once that is done we can turn off the APU, cycle through, just do a quick chime, turn on the prop heats because we are now well ready to go. We don't need icing on for wings or engine, and that's it. And then we can turn the isolation valve to off, and then we'll turn the packs to auto, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We are good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. And obviously, as you can tell, I can see we are in a queue here. And it seems like a very long queue because it's all the way back here. But anyway, so just double check, just make sure that screen is off. V speeds again is 121 for V1, 126 for VR. So it's good to have that information there. So we can turn on the NDB. Actually, we'll do the test first. Weather radar test. TCAS test passed. That was passed. We just turn it to TRA. So this gives us all the weather and all the traffic information on the map screen. Now, I want to get the AD. There we go. NDB for runway 24. Don't think there is one for runway 24. Yeah, there isn't. So we're just going to use another one. Or we'll use 27, which is 376. Okay, and then we'll turn that on. Then we'll prime the Leeds one. So Leeds NDB is 402.5. Oh, I forgot how to do this now. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so 402.5. That's going to be Leeds NDB. Okay, that's it. Let me get this up here, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a queue here. But what we're going to do now is turn on the taxi light and run the turn off lights as well. And yeah, so just to make sure, I think it's I forgot what it's called, but basically Boeing, I think even most aircraft really run with their all lights off profile. So basically there should be no orange lights at all. So it should be all dark displays. So that means everything is running in order. Checking in the back, and there's no orange lights, and that's it. Okay, so we're gonna release the brakes, apply a bit of power. Let's get it rolling. I just love the sound of the engine. It's such a delight, such a delightful sound. But anyway, once again, thank you very much, guys, for the lights. Thanks for joining me on this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you. So I'm gonna tuck in behind this A330, sorry. So I'm gonna tuck in, and I'm gonna do a bit of a cheat here, where I will go to that side. Yeah, join the runway from this side. So this just means we're gonna skip the queue, which is very cheeky of me. But I'm not here to simulate time wasting. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aircrafts waiting to depart. I think the British Airways is lining up, if I'm not wrong here. But yeah, and there's another similar 737 here. I wonder where he's going, or where they're going. I'm gonna reduce the view range here a little bit, and I'm gonna turn on the vertical profile. Oh, sorry, it's in plan mode. Okay. Ah, that's why. So I can't turn left here, or right, sorry. And yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's fine. So this is very illegal, I'd probably think. So I can turn on the strobe lights, and yeah, I'll turn on the strobe lights. I'll leave the landing lights off for now until we'll be cleared for takeoff. But yeah, I'm not allowed to turn right here at all, but I'm gonna have to, because I don't want to queue up. Yeah, I really just don't want to queue up. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to turn that and then request takeoff. Okay, so they turned off the... Okay, so I just like to double check every time. Okay. So acknowledge all short. So I'm going to turn brakes here. And because text-to-speech has been turned off, okay, I think it's just to do with the internet. So we're going to have to wait for this EasyJet. All shot runner 27, that's fine. Okay, let me just get this sorted once more again. Okay, so sound, yeah, here we are, Azure. Active headphone simulation now. Turn to mono now. Audio in background now. That's fine. So engine, miscellaneous, cockpit. Yeah, I'll turn the cockpit down to 90 as well. Okay. So hopefully. Okay, I'll line up and wait, so okay, that's good. Okay, I think we'll give us a clearance to take off. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for us to get cleared for takeoff, and once we are, I'll turn on the landing lights. Okay, we'll be cleared takeoff. Turn on the landing lights, and I'll start the clock. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, advanced power. Hold it on brakes, advanced power to 50%. Release. Click toggle.
Your speed alive. 80 knots.
Okay. V1.
V1.
Rotate.
V2.
Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Gonna have to bring that nose right up. Okay. Lower the nose slightly. So we're gonna be flying into clouds now, and we're starting our acceleration. Okay, I think I'm happy to hand over to autopilot. Just gonna bring the nose down a little bit here, but I forgot to do one thing, which is really frustrating because it's something I always like to do. It's just to record the flight itself using the. Okay, bring it down. Flight control. Autopilot is on, so autopilot is going to handle the controls now. So I can get rid of the heads-up display here. Bring down the flaps to flaps 1, and then barometrics to standard. Flaps 1. Okay. Once again, flaps up. A lot of clouds over Amsterdam here, but that's fine. Okay, with that, I can now bring the turn the brakes landing gear to off position, and I'll turn off the what's it called, the auto brakes from RTO to off. Okay, so I'm happy to continue with this flight. So what I'll do here is I'll change the map mode to ultra wide, and then I'm going a little bit too fast there, but that's fine. Let it slow down itself. Then I'll make the map mode to have vertical profile as well on the screen, but slightly lower range. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I'd say. Beautiful as always, absolutely beautiful sim. No, it's just yeah, Sobo nailed it, and yeah. Okay, so let me use this, and then let's bring up the legs page here. So done the takeoff, packs in auto, landing gear on and off, flaps up, that's good. And then next phase is going to be descent phase. Okay, crossing 10,000 feet, we're going to turn the landing lights off, and also the runway turn off lights. Chime, just to let the cabin crew know they can sort of move about now. So we're going to start accelerating and climbing at the same time. This aircraft, the engines are absolutely sound so good, so on point. Because you always get that while the engine is really working at high RPM, you get that that sound that they always nail. But anyway, here we go. So we've got some wing fluttering there as we turn. I think PMDG need to sort of streamline that just a little bit, but it's still perfect as is. That's good. Okay, so what I can do now, yeah, Shipboard IFR departure. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, now I'm pretty okay to. I'll let you go past 15,000 feet before I turn off the seatbelt signs. Okay, I can now turn off the seatbelt signs. So I'll just put it to auto and cycle through, just make sure everything is still going fine. So so turn the power display here shows what voltage is coming from Gen 1 on even Gen 2 as well, still the same really. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, don't need any icing, anti-icing. Landing altitude is still the same. That's good. That's good. That's good. And that's it. That's all you need to do. It's a lot better than yesterday's flight. a lot better. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. It looks absolutely amazing. Look at the cloud, and the cloud creates shadow on the ground as well, and the textures on the ground look perfect as well. So yeah, you can't ask for anything more really. So it's nicely climbing up here. So I'm gonna try and fix the display, because it's a little bit too bright again. I seem to have fixed the issue yesterday. So it's not graphics, it's in display adapter, color management, advanced display. Here we go. Thanks. Okay. Okay, yeah, I had to change some of the lighting, because it feels a little bit too bright still for me. So yeah, it looks a little bit too bright for me, to be honest. And now it's a lot darker. Okay, let me fix this. Fix it. Okay, back to adapters, display, color management, advanced calibrate display. So around about there, because I've got HDR on as well. Okay. Yeah, I think I made it a little bit too dark, but now it's a little bit better. And I've got a knife. Yeah, so it looks a lot better now. Still, the clouds still look very, very bright. But anyway. So, we're still climbing here. We're at just about cruise altitude. So, yeah, it's 27,000 feet. The top of climb is not too far away. And yeah, let's keep going. Let me see if the auto throttle will manage the power once we get to cruise. MD, yes. Yeah, MD-10. McDonnell, good aircraft by the way. McDonnell Douglas. But yeah, you can just download it straight away from the from SimBrief, or you can just create a flight plan and it will automatically load it into the FMC once you load the aircraft up. Hey Scott. Hey Silkwing, how you doing, fella? How have you been? So we're over the North Sea at the moment, and we're coming up to top of climb. Yeah, it's very, very bright. I'll be honest with you. The gamma and up here is very bright. I think it's more to do with the screen. Anything, but it is fairly bright, I'll be honest. And the clouds look very, very bright. But I think we're sort of flying, you know, between a layer of high altitude clouds. Okay, so we are gonna get the law shortly. There we go, and that's just to let us know that we're less than 800 feet from our cruising altitude. So now that we are settled into the flight, I'm going to start preparations for descent, and this will include obviously having to dial in the information that we need for the arrival. So I'm going to turn off. So okay, one second. All right, so we're landing runway 14, which is coming in. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll be honest. I think it's probably 14 is coming in from the side of Leeds city centre. So it's sort of aligned that way, and. Yeah, so let me
KLM Bravo 4 Lima Golf contact London Center on 118.475.
Okay, contacting London Center.
Going to
Okay.
118.475 KLM Bravo for Lima Golf.
To
London Center KLM Bravo for Lima Golf.
sorry,
flight level
confusing myself
320.
here. But okay, what I need to do. Okay, this is okay. So the runway 17 heading is 139 or 14 really, but 139 is more accurate. And then I'll turn the heading as well, so at least it is matched with it. So bank is going to put maximum. So now I can start dialing in the altitude. So let's go back here and let's check. So platform altitude here is going to be 3,000 feet here, which is at or above. So we're going to maintain 3,000 feet for a very long time before we're coming in. Yeah, so 3,000 feet is going to be the platform altitude. But once we land, we have to go around and then hold 3,000 feet again. So go around altitude is going to be 3,000. So platform altitude here is going to be 3,000 feet. So we're going to dial the. We're going to download the altitude all the way down to 3,000. Okay, and that's it. And yeah, as you can see, it is very, very bright. I really need to fix the gamma or something. Needs to be sorted because it's just way too bright for me. So we are flying in a layer of cloud. That's the other thing as well, but still. Yeah, I think I made it. Let me just bring this. Let me just bring this back up to cruise altitude. Okay, let's get the VNav back up again because for some reason it disconnected the VNav. Yeah, anyway, so that's just going to be something we're going to have to sort out in a bit. Because we've still got a long way before we start our descent, or before we reach top of descent or TOD. Oh, before I forget, I need to turn off the pause at top of descent. Okay, so this comes here. Going to auto cruise, so pause at top of descent. I'm going to turn that off because for whatever reason it yeah, it just messes up a bit. So back to N1. So this is yeah, so that's fine. That's fine. This is like not too bad. It's the right information here. So this is the next page. This is the approach page that we're going to need shortly before we start our during descent or before we start our descent. So we're just going to have that there. So for whatever reason, it's not registering the altitude as or the cruise altitude. It's not registering. It's not showing it as reached your cruising altitude, which might affect. You know, when you start descending, will probably be might not trigger the descent. But I'm happy to sort of leave it as is. I'll just see that. It might just be a bug. It might just be a bug, but yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll put it back. Put that back to standard, and let's carry on with the flight. Okay, okay. Well, I think that's pretty much it, really. I'm not gonna. Yeah, so I'll leave that as is. I will reduce the. Yeah, dial in the platform altitude again, which is 3,000 feet. Yeah, so that's why it's not. It's not. It's not engaging with VNav. So what I'm gonna have to do is keep monitoring top of descent until then, because it really has not wanted. It really does not want to be at cruise altitude here. But let me check this. So cruise altitude. It says 340. No, it's 330. I don't know why that was done like that. Okay, so that fixes that. Yeah, so we're at top of the descent here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that fixes that. So that's my issue. That's my problem there. I don't know what happened, but it probably might have just dialed in a step climb. But our cruising altitude obviously optimizes between 39,000 and 40,000 feet. But we haven't got far to go, so 33,000 feet is perfect. But it was showing 34,000 feet, so it was just saying that we haven't reached that altitude yet. But now that it's done, it's recognized. So it's not a bug. Danger averted. Okay, so now I can go for the approach reference here. So what I'll do is go for flaps 40, which will give us a landing speed of 127, but we have to include the factor of winds. So at Leeds at the moment, we've got winds of just about 3 knots, I think. Yeah, right about 5 knots now. So you just add 5 to 127, which should give us a 132. And that's going to be our landing speed of speed 132. And yeah, that's it. That's all you really need to do for that. It will keep changing, obviously, because we're going to burn our fuel as we carry on cruising. But we're going to leave it on that page for now. Okay, so now that we've sorted the altitude issue, I'm going to bring the speed altitude down to our let me double check actually. What was the cruising altitude? What was our cruising altitude by Simbrief? 33, yeah. Yeah, 33,000, so I don't know why it dialed in 35 or 34,000 instead, but anyway. So I'm going to bring the bottom altitude down to around about 3,000 feet. Before we do actually start our descent, I will have to request ATC to clear us to descend to a lower altitude, or probably about, initiate the descent, because it will not do it as calculated by the aircraft. It will do it in its own way. And yeah, that's it. Nice and smooth. Better flight than yesterday. Quite a lot better than yesterday. By the way, if you ever get a chance to fly the Concorde, it's absolutely amazing aircraft to fly. Steep landing curve. Probably the main thing you need to focus on the main thing you probably need to focus on is the what's it called? The fuel balance, because you're gonna need that to sort of help you climb and descend. You're going to need to be able to sort of move the fuel between tanks accordingly. So that's probably one of the most demanding things that you probably need during the climb and descent phase. Even during the flight, you're going to need to sort of balance the fuel around to sort of maintain the center of gravity as well. But that's probably the main thing you really need to focus on, which is usually handled by the engineer or the third pilot in the cockpit. But yeah, beyond that, really, yeah. I mean, you don't. Another thing as well. If I forget, you don't have the luxury of a glass cockpit, so you don't have any display screens or anything like that. You just have old fishbowl dials. There's a radar, which is something I just learned recently. Is that there's actually a radar on the side of the seat, or the captain, or the pilot, and the co-pilot seat. I think there might be one of the engineers as well, but it's like a weather radar.
Flight level 240.
Okay, so he's starting to
Descend and maintain flight level 240
tell us to
KLM
descend,
Bravo
but we're
for
nowhere
Lima Golf.
near our top of descent yet. But I'm gonna ignore. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore him for now. And then I'll just, because less than 20 nautical miles from our top of descent. Anyway, as I was saying, so aside of the seat, just actually where the where your pockets would be, there's actually a weather radar there. It's usually where the tiller is for the wheel steering. But yeah, you know, you go there. It has a sort of a display which shows the weather radar, so you know, show you where the clouds are and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. It's actually a very beautiful aircraft to fly. Now, I did just a sort of this is just a quick blast. You know, just take off at a random airport, fly, try and see if you can get some Mark II. And once you cross the sound barrier, which is just a little, once you cross Mark 1, there's actually quite a noticeable and very interesting thing that they've included here, is the sonic boom. Now, how it works is that when you're at the front of the aircraft like this, there is no sound. You cannot hear anything. You can't hear the engines, you can't hear the wind, you can't hear anything at all. But once you turn the view to behind the engines, not about there, behind the engines, then you get this very loud boom, sonic boom. Pretty much that's what it is. It's not continuous as it is obviously for anyone on the ground, but it is. You do notice it. You know, it does make a lot of sound. But you go to the front and you lose. You know, so that's something I really enjoyed. You know, what they did. Okay, now he's gonna get excited. He's gonna try and keep telling us to keep just trying to descend, keep trying to descend. But I really don't want to pay attention to him yet, anyway. Now, another thing I want to do is yeah, unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that. I can't really do about the brightness. It's something I'm just gonna have to do a lot more research. Okay, so we're starting our descent now. We're at the top of the descent. We didn't get a pause. I didn't want to pause because last time it did cause me a lot of issues. Okay. So I don't know if I'll need to move the throttle, but it seems to be handling the throttle anyway, so that's pretty good. Okay. So yesterday the issue we're having was to get auto throttle to work. So I think all you have to do is once you take off, you move it to the forward position, and then just leave it for the duration of the flight. You don't need to touch it anymore, because once you do, it will start struggling to manage the throttle itself. But now the position is right to the maximum, and you see it's handled it itself, which is quite good. Now I don't need to bring in the spoilers, but what I'll do is I'll arm the spoilers now, and I'll also arm the AC NDB, and yeah, that's it for now. Okay, I would wait to turn on the seatbelt signs, but I'll turn it on now just so the cabin crew know to start to prepare everyone for arrival. So let me come up to the storm screen here. Okay, we're still all good, all good, all good. Temperature at Leeds is not that bad actually, it's still quite warm. Okay, so back here, so still landing speed 127 or 13. Oh, actually, what I could do is just do that, click that into that position, and the wind speed at Leeds and Bradford at the moment, it's just going to double check again once more, is 5 knots. So you leave that 5 knots there. Let me see how yeah, just 5 knots, and now it will automatically correct that for you. Okay. Alternate destination, EGCC, that's fine. I'm gonna leave it in nearest as well. And yeah, that's it. 127 is landing speed, so you just have to make sure you control the speeds correctly as you come in to approach. So, okay, here we are. So we're a little bit above vertical profile. A little bit above it. Yeah, we're a little bit above vertical, so we're descending a little bit slower. So we're just gonna have to dip the nose a lot more. But I think it's, yeah. So what I can do is I can bring up the speed brakes just to give a little bit of assistance. Yeah, just a little bit of help here as it comes down. Supposedly, it's actually very noisy even for people on the ground. Whenever you, yeah, sorry, Drax. Yeah, welcome to my channel, Drax. Yeah, welcome. I don't do all that much, but yeah, thanks for joining. Feel free to join anytime. Thanks, Drax. Welcome to my channel. So, as I was saying, yes, when it comes to speed brakes, it's actually quite noisy for even people on the ground as well. So, if you're quite low, and so we're being cleared to 16 now, that's fine. Yeah. So as you approach, as you get lower to the ground, approaching the airport. And you apply the speed brakes, it will be quite noisy. You can actually hear the winds, the wind as it rushes over the spoilers. So that's a nice little tidbit I learned, and I find quite interesting actually. I don't know what airport that is. I don't know what that is. It looks like Sheffield, maybe, or could be Dunny or Doncaster. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's keep going. So we are going to have to do something quite interesting once we approach the first fix, the first ring created around Leeds and Bradford, the 20-mile ring. I will try and circle round, but anyway, another thing I nearly forgot to do is turn on the auto brakes. So I'm going to go for auto brakes. I'm going to go for auto brakes 3 because it's a very short runway. Well, it's not short actually. The first exit is quite yeah, it's not too far from the end of the runway. So if I apply too little auto brake, you might end up having to sort of circle around at the end of the other side, which is runway 32. So cycle around runway 3 and then sort of back course, and then before you come to the rapid exit. But yeah, so I'm going to turn auto brakes 3 just because it's a very short runway, and also it is a very heavy aircraft. I think zero fuel weight of 52 is quite a lot. So let's keep coming. Let's keep going. Let's see where we are. I don't even know where we are, to be honest with you. I don't know where we're flying over, but anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly explain what it is I meant by circling around. So, okay, let's reduce the range just a tad bit. So, and also get rid of waypoints for now. So, as you step through, as you can see, you fly very close to the airport. Sorry, but what I want to do is I want to fly around the 10-mile radius before I come in, and then sort of align myself to the runway that way. But that will mean I'll have to disengage LNAV and sort of manually use the heading selector instead, sort of get me around the airport and give me enough distance so when I do align for the final, I've got plenty of space to do what I'd like to do. So that's sort of how I handle approaches at Leeds and Bradford, especially with lack of navigational aids nearby. So yeah.
Lufthansa 422 Heavy is at flight level tree 40 descending 10,000 feet. Lufthansa 422 Heavy Manchester Center. Continue as planned.
So we'll keep descending, I think, until we actually get to the platform altitude. So let's just see how it goes. We're coming in nicely, yes, quite nicely, especially.
KLM Bravo 4 Lima Golf descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Okay, so that's good. We've been clear to 4,000 feet.
4,000 feet, KLM Bravo for Lima Golf.
How beautiful that looks. And for whatever reason, all PMDG products never really affect the frame rate. You know, you'd expect, you know, for a very complex aircraft like this to have a very, very big hit on FPS, but they never do. They never, not in the way that you'd expect. You know, it's something I find very fascinating about PMDG products. You know, be it the 777 or the 737. Like for example, if I was in the in another aircraft, I would have had a lot of issues in Amsterdam, Schiphol. I would have had a lot of frame issues there. But now that I'm actually here, you know, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that I changed a few settings recently, but still, I find that quite interesting. Okay, we're getting some. Oh, just something right here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna turn off the waypoints here so I can have my information here. Okay, so let me just see where I am. So Leeds and Bradford. I know Leeds and Bradford like the back of my hand, really. So I don't really need the charts up. But I will keep the channel. I will. Let me just. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Holy crap, that's loud. It's a bit loud. So we're approaching 10,000 feet. And we are going to be decelerated to 240 knots.
KLM Bravo, 4 Lima Golf contact. Leads approach on 1
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on the heading select.
Going to 1 tree for decimal 58 KLM Bravo for
No,
Lima
not that,
Golf.
sorry, heading
Please
select.
approach KLM Bravo for Lima Golf is at 11,100 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
KLM Bravo, 4 Lima
I've
Golf.
done that
leads
wrong
approach
as
QNH
well.
29er,
So let's
decimal 9er
turn back to
tree, into rim tail and planned.
let's turn back to the okay, so go to heading select. Let's okay, let's follow this now. So this is going to be very crossing 10,000 feet. You can turn the lights off, turning lights, landing lights on. I'll also turn wing lights on just because I think it looks nice. And then I'll bring down the heads up here, and then let the
Bravo, 4 Lima Golf. You are 1 4 miles southeast. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Zulu runway 14 approach. The Lima Bravo Alpha transition. Clear
let the
to Lima
coming
Bravo
through now.
Alpha.
So we've been cleared to land, so that's good.
Keep speed not above
So as you can see,
185
we're gonna
knots.
I'm gonna-
Expect
I'm gonna-
ILS Zulu runway
so I'm gonna
14
be
approach.
going
The
round,
Lima Bravo Alpha transition. Clear to Lima Bravo Alpha KLM
I'm going to
Bravo
be going
for
round
Lima Golf.
the 10-mile ring until we come up to the other side. So I'm going to manually handle the heading selector. So So yeah, this is Leeds City Centre here. So I don't know what that is all about, but I'm going to arm the spoilers again. I don't think we'll need to extend them. It's not till later on. Okay, now let me let's turn around here. Take another left turn here. So we're starting our descent again. So we're going to be holding 3,000 feet once we get there, but because
Bravo 4 Lima Golf. Please expedite your descent 4,000 feet.
so as we're getting closer, as we start to move, to deviate from the flight path, the aircraft calculates what altitude you need to be at, and you know what altitude you need to be at when you're approaching the next waypoint, which is going to be D333J. So we need to be at or above 3,000 feet when we approach that waypoint. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep flying around keep flying around the what's it called, the the 10 kilometer 10 mile nautical mile ring around the airport until I come to the side at which the runway is, and then I will show you what I'll do actually when I get there. So I'm going to try and Okay, so we've lost ATC sound again, but that's fine. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll start to manage the speed. So I'll bring the speed down to run about 210, and I'll keep the heading as is before I re-engage the LNAV. I'll show you what I'll be doing once I do. This is probably the best way to do an approach, well, how I do an approach to LBA, Leeds and Bradford, due to lack of waypoints and things like that. But anyway, so I'm going to change the heading again. I've got to heading 280. So as we do that, what I'll do now is I'll prime the waypoint. So what you do is click it, so bring that 3DDJ, which is the next waypoint, and then once you re-engage it, it will change the line to my current location, and obviously from then on the autopilot can handle it a lot better than it is now. So I think we're about quite good here. Maybe just a little bit more actually, just let it but yeah, I need to start bringing the speed down to 180, and I should have flaps 5 by then. But what we'll do now is yeah, so I will click that in, accept it, and now I can bring back the LNAV, and then it will now handle the, no, I don't want that, it will now handle the okay, and that's it. So now let's start slowing down, bring the first notch of flaps. I've left it a little bit too close actually, so we'll probably be about, yeah, it's going to be a very short short descent. But anyway, let me bring up to flap 2. Okay, this from the cabin crew, let them know that we are about to land. So I'll turn on the runway turn-off lights, just because there's no it's not been mapped properly, because I've used both runway turn-off lights and runway taxi lights the same. So okay, so now we are below 5,000 feet, so transition altitude. So we're going to check the parameter to standard, which is the local. So I'm going to go for the flaps 5. I'm going to reduce the speed to just about 160, and this should be good for 2 reasons. It's slow enough that we don't have to panic as we start to come in, but yeah, some windmills there. So once I disengage the auto throttle, I will be able to hopefully manually handle the aircraft. So I'm going to maintain flaps 5 for now, but we'll start to get closer to the next waypoint after D33J. Which is C14, I think it's 147 there, so it's just weapon for anything. So I'm going to drop the flaps to flaps 10. And remember, the landing speed is 132. No, 131 now. So I'm just going to reselect. I'm just going to be 131. And that's it. Yeah, let's just coast it in now. And once we finish that left turn, completed the left turn. So actually what I'll do now is arm the localizer. I'm just going to arm the approach instead. Yeah, I'll just go straight from there. But I don't think it's picks up the. It's not picks up the localizer yet. The diamond is there, but it's in white. It's not turned to orange yet. Okay, so I'm going to leave. Okay, I'm going to start our left turn here. So what I'll do now, I'll bring the speed down to 140, and then I'll turn flaps 5. So I'm going to maintain flaps 5 until we can now drop the landing gear. Okay, drop landing gear, and then flaps 25. And then I'm gonna go to landing speed 131, and then now I can drop it to flaps 30, and the lights, everything is good. Okay, and here we are, fully aligned. Now we're just waiting to capture the glide slope and also do localize it just a little bit more. I think I'm happy with that. I'm happy to extend the full flaps, and then we are good. So as you can see, absolutely beautiful looking. But the flaps are fully extended, and we're just waiting to capture the glide slope before then we dip the nose. And yeah, here we are. We've captured the glide slope, and now we're starting our descent. The go on altitude, as remember, is 3,000 feet, so that's good. Okay. What I'll do now is okay. What we're gonna do now is I will come out to 5. So I'll turn the landing lights off. I'll also turn the. I'll turn off the auto throttle. So I'll manage the auto throttle, and then I will also. I'll just wait a little bit longer because we did have a bit of an issue yesterday with the. Yeah, spoilers armed. Checklist complete. Okay, it's approaching the 5-mile ring. Now I'll turn off the autopilot, and then I have control. So this is a lot better than yesterday already. But I think what happened yesterday is that I think it increased the sim rate to 4 times. So yeah, I was just literally just yeah, flying quite yeah. So the sim rate was just a lot faster. But as you can see today, everything is fairly smooth. I've got very good throttle control, speed control, and also lateral and vertical control. So just all nice and smooth. Hopefully it should be give result to a butter smooth landing, and that's what you always want to do. But the thing about 737 is that you actually, in order to properly engage the auto brakes, you're gonna need to have a little bit of a firm landing. So it's not, it might feel hard, but it's called a firm landing, and you need that especially for the 737. It's a very difficult aircraft to properly flare. So I've got good speed control, and I'm starting to approach. So I need to go a little bit quiet here. I forgot to put the minimums, but that's fine. But we are fairly good here at the moment. Runway approaching very nicely.
100.
Okay, 50 of the threshold.
40. 30.
30, 20,
20.
10.
10.
Powered off. Oh, beautiful. Let's get full reverse thrust. Spoilers extended. 70 knots. So it looks like we are going to cycle anyway. Reverse is off. Auto brakes off. Manual braking. And yeah, that is it. Welcome to Leeds and Bradford International Airport. Yeah, a lot more successful flight than yesterday. But yeah, so we'll start to do the cleanup shortly. But for now, I'm going to turn off the landing lights. So let's just turn the aircraft around. Sort of back course. So we still did, even though we chose auto brakes 3, which is not the maximum, but it's quite high. We still had to. Okay, gonna bring back the flaps now, and then add a bit of power. That should also bring in the. Bring in the spoilers, and yeah, that's what you call a successful flight. But yeah, I love that. That was quite good. Yeah, so kind of speechless here, but never mind. So basically, we can now do the cleanup. So turn off the wing lights. We don't really need it. We never really needed it, and we can now turn on the APU. And we'll start to perform the cleanup. Cleanup just means obviously retracting the flaps, spoilers, turning off the weather radar, turning to, things like that. So just make sure that everything that's in. Auto brakes off, and yeah. So someone's about to take off as well. There's someone ahead. I don't know what airline that is. I think it's a Jet 2. Yeah, the Jet 2 is about to take off, which is quite cool. And then total flight time, 58 minutes, just shy of 1 hour. So that's from runway to runway. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do here. Don't have to turn anything off yet. But APU is available now. Okay, let me see what runway we are going to be taxied to gate, or what gate, sorry. We're going to be given. So going to gate 6. Okay, that's good. I would have preferred gate 8, but gate 6 will do, that's fine. Okay, now I can turn off the runway strobe lights, so just turn it on to steady navigational lights, red and green lights. So okay, welcome to Leeds and Bradford, which is my local airport. I think I've mentioned before that I've only ever flown here. I'll just turn on the control pad, that's why it's on that. I've only ever flown out of there, in and out of Leeds and Bradford a few times really. I think it's like a couple of times. And I've actually worked there as well a while ago. But yeah, it's my local airport. It's a beautiful airport, to be honest. It looks tiny, but it's actually quite big. It's quite a big airport, really. But yeah, as you can see, Now, I think it's Embraer 190 that's KLM used for this service. I think it's like 3 services in a day to and from Leeds and Bradford. But yeah, now I'm going to decide whether to I'll carry on, and then I'll use this taxiway here, Alpha. I'll use taxiway Alpha. Okay. So yeah, compared to yesterday's flight, which is more of just a quick bash around, it was quite quite clunky, and there's so many mistakes made. But it's just a refresher, really. That was the main thing. But it was really good. I enjoyed yesterday's flight. It was a good reminder of what to do. But today is the flight that really nailed it. And yeah, so this is gate 8 here, and we do not have an air bridge, unfortunately, for gate 6. But it's fine. I'll turn off the taxi lights now, and here we are. So we've got the Batman there, and we can start turning in now. Ooh. So the Jet 2 is, I think it's Jet 2 is about to, it's just departing now. So not to do. Okay. It's setting up. That's pretty cool. There. Okay. Yeah, I see it. I have to raise the seat a bit. There we go. This way. And stop. Fantastic. That's beautiful. Let's have a look at the party. Oh, it's already gone. Oh, okay. Alright, so that's it. What you can do now is, first things first, is to turn the power to APU, so we do not lose power once everything has been transferred, once the engines have been turned off. And it's still glitching there, but that's fine. Engine 1 and 2, both got them off. And that is it. That is what I love about this aircraft, PMDG. They always give you a quality product. Your dumpster can come off. I'm going to leave fuel pumps on just because we need them for the APU for now. We're going to change the power to ground until obviously it gets here. Seatbelt signs can come off. Window heat, all those can come off. So can probe heat. Electronics can turn off, and then yeah, that's it. Bleed air, we don't need that because not starting the engine. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna now request for the go for services first. We're gonna set the chokes. We don't have jetway, so we're gonna need stairs instead. So we're gonna request ground card. So just wait for that to connect. So that's connected. Now we can turn the power to ground, and then turn off the APU. With that turned off, we can turn off the anti-collision lights as well, and pretty much that's it. Now we can turn off the fuel pumps, forward and aft, and that's it. That is how you fly a 737. I probably would turn off the IRS, but you're getting it ready for a turnaround. But I'll just turn it off. Yeah. But yeah, that is it. Obviously, once you turn it on, you lose all the information there. So from gate to gate, it took about 1 hour and 22 minutes flight, and yeah, that is it. Let me just request the other things. We don't need the fuel tank at the moment. We're doing fine there. We're going to use stairs. We're going to request the stairs. So yeah, request front and back stairs. We don't need to use air stairs. Just actually, it probably would be better to use air stairs, really. For that particular reason, that it's actually a very, very small gate here, but it doesn't matter. Basically, the footpath is pretty much there, so it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to wait for everything to connect, and yes. So what we're going to do now is get cabin cleaning, let them arrive, and then we can start to request for the baggage clearance. So 0, 0. Once they are ready, we can start to unload them, and then target is 0, which is deboarding. And then once the stairs and all that stuff are connected, we can start to deboard the aircraft. But with that, that's it. Oh, it's yeah, it's been a long time. It's hard to explain how perfect it feels when you actually nail something that well. But anyway, so okay, I'm gonna start to deboard or deplane. Oh, it's disconnected it. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Just yeah. It's just because I requested the jetway instead of the stairs. So deplane. It's not started to deplane yet. You can request the bus as well, but really, yeah, you can walk to it. So okay, we're still waiting for the baggage belt to arrive. So that's there. Okay, let's go back inside. Where's the air stair? Just gonna wait. Okay, so just gonna wait for the back sorry, the back car to arrive. But the air stair is coming back again, and that's it. So let me see what it looks like actually from the inside. There it is. It's arriving now. So let me see if you'll let it start to. Okay, so now we can start to unload the cargo. So start to unload the cargo. It should let us unload the or deplane the passengers, but I don't know why it's not doing that. But that's something we'll work on for the near future. And that's it. Yeah, I love this. I love this aircraft. I love everything about it. I love what they've done. And yeah, they just need to get this working right now, and yeah, get the Microsoft server to get the sim working right for everybody. So I'm just gonna go for a nice little tour of the cabin again. I love doing this, and yeah, so I'll start from the back really. And I just love this. I love this. You get this sort of just walk around. You never had this, well, anything similar for FSX. But for those who fly who have used the back entrance as well, so yeah, it's quite interesting position to really interesting feature to have, where you can sort of just use a controller to sort of explore the area. Now I was saying yesterday, you're actually not allowed to walk underneath. Oh, 1 second. Let me save. Stop recording. I'm gonna save the recording for a replay later on. So what I'll do is save, and we are EHAM to EGNM 737. I'll probably give you a good 98, and that's that. So let's save. Yeah, so where am I? Okay, so yeah, you are not allowed to walk underneath, especially underneath the wing, because where is the fuel jettison valve? Actually, even just being close like this to the engine, because the engine is really hot. I mean, if you touch it, you're literally gonna leave your skin on the engine there. It's that hot. And yeah, so mostly when people get off, it's a short little walk to the entrance there. I don't know where the entrance is. Maybe that one there. So that's where the entrance is. I think someone is there's an aircraft that's being so I wonder what that black spot is. Oh, that's where the eyebrows are supposed to be. TLD. And yeah, so that needs to be worked on a bit. It's just the texture issue. I think that's where the oh, there it is. It's just a Ryanair heading out. That's what I heard. So I don't know why the sound is not as good as that. Let me see. Sound. Aircraft engine. Yeah, I want that to be perfect. Other aircraft. A lot of aircraft are quite noisy, actually. Okay. So once you go into the cockpit, it sort of locks you in there. But yeah, this is really good. I love this. I love what they've done here. It's a pretty damn good job. Even the airport itself, I think it's OBX. It's what I bought when I literally just bought the aircraft. So when I just bought the sim, they basically you know. But yeah, that is it, pretty much. So you just like go through the cockpit. Oh, you can actually go out. Yeah, once you get in the cockpit, so it locks you in there. And yeah, this is one heck of a good office. This this is one heck of an office. But yeah, can do some plane spotting there. It's got Ryanair. I don't know where they're heading to. And yeah, so it's been a pleasure, guys. Once again, I will be doing a lot more of these. I think it's the Fly-by-Wire A320 got a new update, so I will be testing that out as well soon. They are working their way to making it steady level, so at some point there will be something of at least be quite an interesting interesting aircraft to fly, because Airbus is still one of my favorite aircraft. So I do like the 737, but I like it for the engine sound and so on and so on and so on and so forth. But yeah, the A320 is also a nice little aircraft to fly, especially the fact that I have flown that a lot more than the 737. I've been in actually probably same amount of times, to be honest with you. It could be, but yeah. With all that said, if you have any questions, you probably best post them after the stream has ended. But yeah, it's been nice having you guys on the stream with me. It was a very nice flight. I'm surprised I actually nailed it that well. But okay, thank you, and see you all in the near future. Bye bye.